Good morning. My name is Habiba Jackson, and I'm the chair of the AAHP Executive Coalition, and it's with great pleasure that I welcome you to AAHP Community Day 2025. Thank you guys for all being here, being on time. I appreciate it. We have a jam-packed day planned for you all, and we're going to start with the Brink Lore Skyrocket Youth Drum Corps. Guys, come on, let's start the party. They're coming from Ashton, Maryland, from the ages of 12 to 16. Great job, ladies and gentlemen. What a way to start the morning. I definitely needed it. I'm very energized, and we have a great start to our day. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our mistress of ceremony, Micheline Bowman, who has over 25 years in the media and production. And she's not new to AHP Community Day. She has been our hostess many, many times, and we are so happy to have her here with us today.
Good morning, everyone. How are y'all doing? Okay, so we're going to make this really easy. I'm going to say how y'all doing, and y'all going to be excited. So good morning. How is everybody doing? If that drum line did not get you excited, I don't know what else will. That's a good alarm clock to wake you up in the morning. Can you imagine waking up to that? Probably knock you out the bed. But like she said, my name is Micheline Bowman, and I am very happy to be here. I don't even know I don't even know when it started in Silver Spring when I was with you all, and they've asked me back every now and then, and I'm telling you, it's an honor to be here because health is something that's important to every single person that is sitting in this room. And although I am a Prince George's County resident, I gotta say that, shout out to Prince George's County, I do love Montgomery County, so that's why I'm over here. I came across that line because you guys do some amazing things here, and you have some amazing people that I'm going to be introducing to you throughout the course of today. Now, I'm trying not to speak a lot because it's about the program, but I do have a script here that I will follow, but I always ask for grace and mercy now if I say your name wrong, if I pronounce something, because Micheline is a mouthful. People think I'm Michelle, and Michelle leaned into my name, so Micheline is my name, so please don't come up to me and say Michelle, because I said it's Micheline, and not Michelin, not marshmallow, none of those things, it's Micheline. Now, before we get this morning started, we always have to have a great inspirational message from someone. And so I have the honor of bringing up here for an opening inspirational message from Reverend Nelson. He's a faith leader and educator and community advocate in Montgomery County, senior pastor of Seneca Community Church in Germantown, and the director of business and community outreach here at Montgomery College. Where is... That's you? You just put your hand up? Y'all can clap for him. Come on, good morning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Micheline. Is that right?
Lean back.
All of y'all saw that, right? This is an inspirational moment. Get ready to lean to your left, and it'll be my right. Y'all ready? Hallelujah. I just am not going to be here long, and I just wanted to say that after 11 years of doing this, this is still the best family reunion in Montgomery County on a given day. Amen. And if you haven't high-fived somebody or you haven't loved somebody, do something, do it now. The inspirational message is very brief, and then hopeful it's for you. Some people don't want to pray. Some people don't think it's important to pray. But I come from a community that if they didn't pray, they wouldn't be here today. I come from a community that didn't always come to this place. This isn't our original home. There were ancestors who prayed for us to get across a great divide. I came into some family members who are from this sacred land that we are now on, that was inhabited by folks called indigenous people. And now we give honor to them as part of our ancestors who are also at this very moment celebrating that we are here on a purpose to make certain that our family and friends and allies, enemies and foes, whatever way you want to call them, they are surviving in good health as well. It's always a good principle to understand that what goes around, if we do good, good will come around eventually, all right? So this morning, I just want you to understand something. It's not a guarantee that we'll be here next year. It's not a guarantee that you have this opportunity to do something great with your life. People are depending on you and I and what you say today to save lives. We're in the business of saving a life. And if you don't save your own life, you can't save nobody else's life. Y'all ought to say amen on that. Amen. Thank you. All I want you to understand now is this, that it has been an honor to be with you and to serve with you and give praises to all the people who have organized this. Your work has been inspirational, magnificent, wonderful, magnificent, marvelous, and every other adjective that you can. Somebody ought to do something with that. We've done more than we thought we ever could do. We're still doing more. In the spite of somebody telling us we can't, we are. We ought to just shout hallelujah if you're in your spirit, because that's what we're doing today. As I get ready to close, this is all I'm going to say to you today. My beloved, my friends, my enemies, my foes, my loves, all in the house. We pray that you prosper in your health. We pray that the blessings of God will overflow in your life, and that whatever you seek for, you find it. And understand this, don't ever doubt that prayers are answered. Let's get the lean right. There you go.
See, no. There's no old people in here. Everybody here is healthy, wealthy, and alive and blessed. There's no old people in here. Now, this is the part of the program in the beginning. Well, I have to say that because we have a lot of people I'm about to announce, and there's no individual that I'm pointing at, we need y'all to keep y'all messages brief, because otherwise, then I can't talk. No, I'm just teasing. But this is the time that I want to make sure that I recognize, beside of the people that I'm going to call up here, are there any other state officials in the house? You guys know you in the program, but there is anybody in here, I want to make sure that I recognize them. Anybody from Prince George's County here in Montgomery County? Oh, okay. I tried Prince George's. So at this time, I have the honor of bringing to the microphone Maryland State Delegate Greg Wims, who has a citation. And what I want to say about you, sir, is that, well, a lot of people here don't know, but I also work in Annapolis with this fine gentleman here. I work for Senator Ron Watson. I'm his chief of staff for the 23rd District. And this man right here, he is the truth. And I'm so happy that you have someone like him to represent you. And take it away.
Thank you, Micheline. Thank you so much, Micheline. And hello, everyone. Good morning. After the drum line and after the inspiration from Reverend Jackson, it's very hard for me to follow, but I'm going to be brief. And before I present the citation that I have, I want to say, for my family, the Wims family, you're on sacred ground. Just about 150 yards from here, where the globe is where my father was born. And before that, and we have some people from Prathertown, historic Prathertown in the back that know the history, my grandfather was born as a slave here in Germantown in what they call the Crackling District. So when I come here, I'm reminded of my birth, my family and the struggles they had. But as the pastor said, we all overcome and we all look forward to the future. And as a delegate, I'm so proud to represent this area, District 39. So with that, Ms. Jackson, will you come forward? Have a citation from the Maryland General Assembly for all the volunteers. I'm going to let you say what this is.
Okay. No, you can say it.
Okay, I will read it, but it's for all those who've helped put this together. Her committee, all the volunteers, all the sponsors. And I would say, well, all of you raise your hands. Those that are on the committee, those who are sponsoring, because all of you will get one of these citations. I have them there.
Can all of the partners and sponsors come up, please? If you're here, any of the sponsor, one representative from each sponsor, if you can come up, we can give you the citation.
And the Divine Nine, I see all of you. Right?
You can go ahead and I'll give them to you.
Okay, good. And I have to say I'm an Omega Sci-Fi Incorporated, so good for that. Okay. Hello, my sister. With that, I'll read the citation from the Maryland General Assembly. Official citation, be it hereby known to all that sincere congratulations are offered to the African American Health Program, AAHP, providing critical, competent health, education, screenings, and services that promote lifelong wellness and equitable health care access to all in Montgomery County. Hosting today is the members you see here and the sponsors, and we congratulate each and every one of them, and we congratulate Ms. Jackson for taking the lead this year. Presented on the 31st day of May, 2025, by Delegate Greg Wims, myself, from Montgomery County Legislative District 39. Congratulations to all of you. And maybe we'll get up and get a picture with that.
Thank you, sir. And I expect to see you at work on Monday. No. Next, I have the pleasure of introducing the county executive, Mr. Mark Earledge. He has a joint proclamation with the council.
So good morning, everybody. Good morning. I am really happy to be here. I love coming to this event. It seems like it's fuller every year, and it's really nice to see everybody out for this. I really do appreciate the work that AAHP does. You've been around a while. You are key to health in this community, and the work you do is greatly appreciated. And I think you know, Pat, we've talked a lot, making sure that you get your funds and you're able to continue doing the work you do has always been a priority. And I just want you to know that, as long as I'm around, I'll be fighting for these kind of things because they really matter. And this is the 11th year of the event, so you got longevity. Today is about empowerment, though, and it's about taking control of your health, your wellness in a system that hasn't always worked for everyone. And that's one of the things that we came to realize during COVID more than anything. During COVID, we spent a lot of money on advertising originally, trying to get out to the community and say, you need to come get tested. You need to get tested. And then later was, you need to come get shots. And we realized that for all the money we spent on professional media, there was no substitute for community groups. And so we pivoted out of everything being directed by my HHS department and everything going to normal media, and we pivoted to supporting the community groups that were sprung up in the county, because your community groups had more touch, more contact, and more influence on your communities than anybody like me would have. And I know the historical difference. I know the concerns that the black communities had about health care in America and the lack of trust. You can say it's not real and you shouldn't have to feel that way, but the fact is, if you feel that way, it's real. And we had an obligation to change the way we did things rather than expect people to come over to the way we were used to doing things. So if you look around now, you see the hubs are still in place. I told my department the hubs were going to stay standing after COVID went away, because those are the connections that I really valued, and I thought the people who worked for us in the community did an amazing job. This is about education, access, and equity. And we're going to talk about, my administration is not ever going to stop saying diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're not going backwards, ever. My friends who know me know that I'm a rocker, and so, my personal favorite is Bruce Springsteen, and he has the song, and the song is called No Retreat, No Surrender. That has kind of been my approach to life. If you're doing what's right, you keep doing what's right. You may make a strategic pivot, but you never surrender. You keep fighting. And that's what this is about. We've got a road to travel. We've come a long way. But we know, even in Montgomery County, that at every measurement of social determinants of well-being, the black community is still at the bottom. Even behind the Hispanic community in terms of homeownership, which was remarkable because most of them came after 1980. So think about what it means when every time something happens, you wind up sitting at the bottom. And that's why we just don't do celebrations in Montgomery County. We have programs. We make major investments in things that will strengthen the community, because the only way to change the past is to actively act to change the past. I can talk about it all I want. We can all get up and say, you know, hey, we could be different. But the fact is, you have to do things to be different. And so we've been committed to changing the metrics in this county. Infant mortality and diabetes are way too high. They're double compared to other groups. Heart disease, HIV, STDs, STIs remain serious concerns in the community, and we can't pretend that these gaps are accidental. If you don't have access to health care, it's kind of hard to take care of yourself. Not everybody in Montgomery County has access to health care. That's why we've got a system of clinics in Montgomery County for the people who can't afford health care or aren't allowed to have health care, because you've got a crazy federal government who does not understand that one of the fundamental jobs of any government is to take care of the health, safety, and well-being of the people you govern. We're dealing with structural racism. It doesn't go away easily. You can change things on paper. It doesn't mean that you change people's hearts and minds, and it doesn't mean you change the subtle decisions that people make that don't have a label on them and they don't say what they're doing, but you can kind of figure out what they're doing. Our goal is to keep people healthy, to improve the housing situation in this county, to provide good jobs. I've been very emphatic, you know, if we're going to do economic development, I am not bringing in garbage jobs that put people on welfare. I'm going to bring in quality jobs so people have a future and can find their way up. We've got a workforce development team now that has gone from taking somebody with no skills and say, I'll find you a no-skill job, to somebody who says, you know, you need skills, we will get you the skills so you can get a real job. So things are changing, and we're going to keep them changing. But Montgomery County is intentional. And it wouldn't be possible if this wasn't the view of the entire government. I couldn't do this by the executive by myself. The council couldn't do it by itself. If the government isn't united in trying to move the needle in that direction, it doesn't happen. And fortunately, we've been able to move the needle in the direction we want to be in. So I want you everybody to look around at all the great resources here today, from the free health screenings and mental health support. All this is for you. Take advantage of what's here and ask questions, make connections, share what you learn, and most of all, know that you're not alone. It's important to know that you're not alone. It's important. That's what's the strength of the community organizations, whether it's the church groups or the social groups. All of them provide binder for people to know that they're in this with somebody else, and being in this with somebody else is important. So we know we're not going to get health equity by accident. We're going to have to be intentional. We have to do events like this continually. This is not, to Reverend Nelson's comment, we will be back next year. Nobody is going to stop us from doing this. Nobody. Not the President of the United States or any of the clown posse he has. No. You've probably noticed this is the most overtly racist government I can say that. Look, when he can get up and say, if you see a black person, any minority person or a woman in a position of importance, they're DEI hires. He doesn't even understand what DEI is, which is a big problem, but it totally negates the value of anybody who's not a white male. And it's been a long time. I heard George Wallace talk in Laurel on that famous day. It's been a long time you had racists who could get out front and talk the way they're talking now. This has got to stop. People have got to stand up. And for those of you of faith, you cannot have Christian nationalism, have a definition of Christianity where, these are the crimes, by the way, that Trump is threatening to charge us with. If I have a homeless shelter, and an undocumented person comes into a homeless shelter, I am guilty of the crime, personally, of harboring a criminal. Because by definition, if you're an undocumented immigrant, you're a criminal. This is what we're dealing with. If you feed somebody, you're harboring a criminal. Churches have got to reclaim what Christianity is. This is not the Christianity I know. This is the Christianity of Adolf Hitler and people like him. So stay strong, stay committed. I will continue to work with you. We will continue to work with you. I've got an amazing team in my Health and Human Services Department. They are incredible. So we're all here to help you move the needle, and we won't stop moving it until we get where we need to go. So thank you all very much.
Okay, I think I want to buy a house. Is there a realtor here? I think I'm leaving Prince George's and coming to Montgomery County. So is there a realtor in the building? Anybody? Don't raise your hand too high. I'm just saying. Please. Oh, somebody said, come on. You said, please don't tell the county executive. Don't take no pictures. Don't put me on social media. No, but I do. I love Montgomery County. I will say that from my heart. You guys have a lot going on here. And when I get the chance to come and support, I'm always here because it's a beautiful place to live. And gosh, it's growing. With that 270. Okay. Oh, somebody said, yeah. Next, I would like to invite Councilmember Gabe Albornoz, and then followed by Councilmember Marilyn Balcom.
Well, good morning, good and blessed people. How we doing today? Well, it is a privilege and honor to be with all of you this morning. My name is Gabe Albornoz. I'm one of your at-large members of the County Council. I chair our county's Health and Human Services Committee, and so I have had a front row seat to seeing the incredible work of this organization now for more than 15 years, because I used to be the director of the Department of Recreation. I don't want to go any further without acknowledging Dr. Patricia Grant for her incredible leadership, Ms. Jackie Williams. Thank you all for everything that you do. The county executive covered so much important ground, and so I'll just say a few things. Right now, in the history of our country, we need bridge builders. We need people that are going to bring us together and move us forward. The African American Health Program has been doing that for more than 2 generations now. They are saving lives, they are connecting communities, and they are providing invaluable information to our Department of Health and Human Services and allowing us to go deeper into communities than we could ever go by ourselves. Now, what the African American Health Program does so well is that they acknowledge and they lift up our body, mind, and soul. I am a person of faith. I am proud to be a person of faith, and that faith is being tested right now. But it's days like this, it's programs like this, it's events like this, it's people like you that give me hope and that answer my prayers. So we will weather this storm together. And make no mistake, we are in a storm right now. Our entire infrastructure of health and human services across this country is being tested in ways that none of us could have ever imagined. It's going to take all of us working collaboratively together. And I learned a long time ago that we all can't do everything, but each of us can do something. And that's what we are doing today. So thank you on behalf of the entire Montgomery County Council and our council president who could not be here today. And in a few moments, we will read a proclamation. But before that, I want to introduce my colleague and friend, Councilmember Marilyn Balcom.
Thank you all. I'm Councilmember Marilyn Balcom. I represent this district, Germantown. I have been in Germantown for 30 years, and I'm so happy to be with you today. More importantly, I'm glad that you are here in Germantown today, so thank you all for being here. So Germantown, along with Gaithersburg, Silver Spring, we have the top 4 most diverse communities in the entire nation right here in Montgomery County. And I am so proud of the work that the African American Health Program does. Everyone talks a big game. This is action. This is action that we're taking right here today. Action for your medical physical health, your mental health, your joy, your fun, your engagement. And so I'm going to stop right there. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Montgomery College. Let's give them a round of applause. Montgomery College is such a major asset in our community, not only from the traditional students, but from high school through the end of life. We are teaching people, enjoying education, and bringing people in every day. So thank you, Montgomery College. I just want to say, make sure that you take full advantage of all the medical testing that's happening today, all the mental health actions that are happening around, but please have fun, meet someone new, engage, promise to have lunch with someone that you've met today, and make sure that this network continues and grows and strengthens. So thank you for everything that you do. Thanks.
We are going to now read the proclamation, and after we are done, we want to invite all the members of the Executive Committee and African American Health Program to come up and receive this proclamation. County Executive is going to kick us off.
Okay. Whereas the African American Health Program, AAHP, established in 1999, has been a leading force in eliminating health disparities affecting Black and African American residents in Montgomery County by delivering culturally appropriate, community-based, and evidence-based healthcare services. And
whereas Montgomery County has reaffirmed its commitment to health equity by expanding investments in public health, addressing social determinants of health, and championing community-driven solutions that are rooted in empowerment and inclusivity. And
whereas AAHP has remained a critical partner in these efforts, offering vital programs in chronic disease prevention, maternal and infant health, mental health support, and COVID-19 education, while serving as a trusted voice within the community. And
whereas AAHP Community Day 2025 is being held during National Mental Health Awareness Month and embraces the theme, "Take control of your health and wellness, prioritize you, and be empowered." A call to action for all residents to invest in their personal well-being. And
whereas AAHP Community Day stands as a flagship event under the Montgomery County's broader equity agenda, exemplifying what is possible when government, health professionals, and residents come together to improve outcomes and create lasting change. Now, therefore, be it resolved that County Executive Mark Elrich and the entire Montgomery County Council hereby proclaim May 31st as AAHP Community Day. We applaud AAHP and its partners for their unwavering leadership and service, and call on all residents to celebrate this day, prioritizing their health, embracing community wellness, and advancing health equity for everyone. Signed on this day by the County Executive and our Council President. Thank you all so much for being here. A committee, come on up for the picture. Pat.
Anybody else hold their breath when they take pictures? Honestly, who's going to be honest? Who holds their breath when they take pictures? Thank you, sorors. Yes, yes. Okay, y'all lying on them. What's today? Saturday. Sunday Eve. Because I know they take that picture so I can get my breath. But again, this day has, I'm looking at the agenda. If you leave here and have not had a health screening, have not picked up information about something that can affect you or your family, have not participated in a Zen session, a stretch session, some yoga, some food, some chatting and chewing, mixing and mingling, you did not come to the right place. As you heard, this program has everything that you or someone in your family can take advantage of. So please, I'm imploring you now to stay for the entire time. I cannot. But stay for the entire time and take advantage of everything they have to offer today. Now, I want to also acknowledge some people that are here. The staff of County Council Vice President Will Jawando, staff of Council Member Lori Ann Sales, Drew Banday, Regional Services Center Director, Frederick Hawkins, African American Community Liaison Outreach Manager. And then I definitely want to give a shout back out to, where did Habiba go? She's always running around. Habiba Jackson, Miss Jackson. Y'all, let's clap for Habiba. Let's clap for her, because let me tell you, I just want to say thank you, and everybody here thanks you for just being amazing. I would like to also recognize Dr. Nina Ashford, Chief of Public Health Services. She's going to speak a little later. She has her platform is Your Health, Your Power, Healthy Choices for Stronger Communities. Where is Mr. George McFarland? There you are, CEO of McFarland and Associates. Ms. Jackie Williams. You can stand up, there he is. Ms. Jackie Williams, Chair, AAHP Executive Committee. Ms. Jackie. Oh, okay, well, let me rewind. Someone invites you up to say a few words. How about that? So let's go back. So we're going to have Mr. McFarland. Would you like to come up? And then I'm going to have you come up for people.
Good morning, all. I want to bring you special greetings, and I want you to repeat after me. Black Lives Matter. Thank you very much. I know with the flavor of the day changing, sometimes people forget. But also, I think it's important that we take control of our health. So we can't depend on somebody else to do that for us. This is something nobody else can take away from us. We want to be mindful of the foods we eat, the exercise we get. We want to be sure that we get enough sleep. And we got to love each other. We are a resilient people. We've been here for 400 years, okay? And we've been through the good times and we've been through the bad times. And I want to say, particularly, we are blessed to be in Montgomery County, a county that supports all people, no matter when you came to this country, whether you came by plane, train, or ship, because we see value in people. So I want to thank you, and I also want to thank all of those people with the red shirts and all the supporters who work next to us every day to bring the message that all of us matter as people, and we want to optimize everybody's potential to contribute to this county. We have a recreation department that extends its resources to all of us, free. Exercise is critical. So we want to thank you, and we want to thank you for all showing up today. And my heart is overflowing with joy as I look out and see. Thank you for the love and the gift that all of you have made possible in my life and in the life of McFarland and Associates. Thank you very much. We love you.
Ms. Jackie Williams, Chair, AAHP Executive Committee.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today and joining us for our 11th annual AHP Community Day. I'm just so thrilled to have all of you here. Again, I'm Jackie Williams. I'm co-chair, actually, of the African American Health Program Executive Committee, and we are the board for the African American Health Program. Just thank you so much again.
Dr. Pat Grant, past chair of AAHP Executive Coalition and Planning Committee and AAHP Community Day.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, what can I say? I passed the baton to Habiba this year, but I wanted to give you all just a little bit of history. Everybody know me, I like to talk about the history of how we got here. Back in 2013, oh goodness, 2013, no, that was not when it happened. Yes, it did. 2013, there was an idea to have a health fair, but we didn't want to call it a health fair. So we said we want to have an event whereby we would bring together our community to help them take control of their health. But we really didn't say that back then, but exactly that is what we wanted to do. And also showcase the African American Health Program and the many services that it provides. That idea we took to the community, and our community-based organizations who are our partners and sponsors joined in. Montgomery College with Reverend Nelson helped us out. The county Department of Health and Human Services, the county exec, and many, many, many others, volunteers, exhibitors, helped us in 2014 to bring this idea into fruition. That event, as I said, was not called a health fair. It was called AAHP Community Day. And it's important that you all understand that is the name of this event. It is not Community Day. It is not a health fair. It is AAHP Community Day. And that's important because we wanted to make it unique, significant, and we wanted people to understand why we are here, why we're doing it, and what we're trying to showcase. And as you heard today is AAHP Community Day as well. So that's one of the things I just want to say. 11 years later, we're here. And I want to thank each of you all for helping us be here and continue to be here. And as the county exec said, and he'll know I take him up on his promise, we'll be here and see you all next year.
Ms. Habiba Jackson, Chair, AAHP Executive Coalition and Planning Committee, AAHP Community Day.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to keep it brief because we have a lot on the plate today, and we're a little behind schedule. And everyone has already said so many wonderful things, but I do want to take this moment to thank everyone for making my first year as the chair for the AAHP Executive Coalition and the Planning Committee for AAHP Community Day such a success. It's already a success. I have been blessed tremendously this last year in this role, and strong foundation has been laid, and I'm happy that I'm able to continue on with the tradition, stressing the importance of community. And as everyone said, please keep our theme in mind today. Take control of your health and wellness, prioritize you, and be empowered. We started today with a walk where women and men took time out in their day to take care of themselves before they came out to volunteer and also to be here in service. So remember that, and with all of the activities you do today, make sure you're doing it for you so that you can come out into the community and help everyone else. We're as strong as the community, but if we're not strong and healthy, we cannot do all of the great work that we're doing. So welcome again, and if you see me around, please stop by and say hello.
All right, so we're going to get into some fun, exciting things. Now, again, we have screenings that are on the hallway. We have this is Hall C, this is B, that's A, and that's C when you came in the door to the right. So there's things that will be happening all throughout this area. But in this area today, we're going to be having a breathing exercise that is coming up. And I have the honor to, and I'll need a little bit of music. I'm breathing. Getting our breathing together. I'm going to introduce. I am just on fire. That's why that's doing that. I'm going to introduce to you Ms. Kimberly Johnson, AAHP Program Specialist, and she's going to lead this mindful program. So I'm going to read a little bit about her bio. And the great thing about bios, when you give someone your bio, depending on how long you've lived, it could be 1, 2, 3, 5 pages. So it's hard to condense everything you've done into a few paragraphs. But I'm going to give you a little snippet of who she is. So Kimberly Johnson is a mindfulness-based program facilitator and curriculum developer for Montgomery County, Maryland. Who said 1, 2, 3, your eyes on me? Or yeah, you said that? Okay. So 1, 2, 3.
Eyes on me.
1, 2, 3. What do you see? Micheline Bowman in the place to be. No, I'm not going back. I'm in Montgomery County. All right. She has a background in community health and yoga, and she currently leads the AAHP mindfulness program and is a training in mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. Kimberly is passionate about making mindfulness accessible and empowering individuals and communities to thrive. Where are you, Miss Kimberly? That was you looking at me. I didn't. Well, honey, you gonna help me breathe.
Yeah.
You gonna help me get all my lung situations right.
We're going to work together.
Because y'all making me nervous. I'm just teasing.
Thank you. Can you all hear me? Okay, great. So right now, just take a moment to turn off or silence your cell phone because it's going to get a bit quiet if it's not already silenced. So my name is Kimberly. I use she, her pronouns. I also welcome they, them. We're going to do a breathing exercise. If there's anyone who has challenges with breathing at any time, rather than focusing on the sensations of your breath, you can focus on the sensations in the palms of your hands or the soles of your feet, whatever is easiest for you to connect with. Okay. So take a moment. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. If not, you can take a glance on the ground a few feet ahead. And if you're sitting, just come into awareness of the body sitting, your feet on the ground, the chair holding you up at your seat and your lower back, the position of your shoulders. If you're standing, just take an awareness of your body's position in space. And if you're talking, please stop. And just notice your breathing process. Simply notice you are breathing. It's not necessary to change your breath in any way. Just breathe simply and normally. Notice in this instance means to feel the breathing in your body with your body. Tune into the sensation of the breath in your nostrils. Notice cool air going in as you breathe in, slightly warmer air coming out. And when your mind wanders during this process, which is what minds do, gently redirect your attention to the sensation of your breathing. Notice the breath in your chest. Notice the rib cage slowly rising as you breathe in and gently falling as you breathe out. Notice the sensation of breathing in your back. Notice how your back expands as you breathe in and gently contracts as you breathe out. Anchoring our intention in the sensation of our breath. And moving your attention to your abdomen, noticing how your abdomen gently expands as you breathe in and gently falls as you breathe out. And if your attention has wandered, that's okay. Gently redirect your attention to the sensation of breath in your abdomen. And now we'll zoom out, so we're going to continue to notice the sensation of breath as well as the feeling of our body as a whole. the placement of your jaw, your facial expression, your shoulders. Again, the chair holding you up, your feet on the ground. And this is optional, but you can close this practice by bringing your hand to your heart, making a connection to yourself. Feeling gratitude for yourself for being here today. And if you feel called to, take a deep breath in and let it go. Another deep breath in and exhale with a sigh. Now introduce some small movement. You can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your shoulders. And just take a moment to notice how you feel. And when you're ready, and take your time, if your eyes are closed, gently open them. You can look on the ground first, kind of reorient yourself. And that concludes this brief practice. Thank you.
Okay, some of you, y'all awake? Like she said, if you're talking, please stop talking. I love that. I have to use that one. Forget that 1, 2, 3. But I know it's kind of hard because we're in an open space and everybody's ready to get up and move and groove and do things. But while we're in this space, it's important because everyone that's coming up here has some great information that they want to share with you. They've taken time to prepare. So I think that, listening that's part of breathing. You can breathe and listen at the same time. So now I have the honor of introducing the keynote speaker for this morning. And the platform is Your Health, Your Power, Healthy Choices for a Stronger Community. How many of y'all believe that? Healthy choices for a stronger community. The speaker is Dr. Nina Ashford, and I'm going to read her bio. Uh-oh. If you're talking, please what? If you're talking, that means you're not listening, right? Okay, everybody, I need y'all to kind of look. Oh, somebody did it for me. I wasn't going to do that, but okay, thank you. Are you Dr. Nina Ashford standing here? Are you Dr. Nina? Okay. I'm going to read all this about you because you earned all that. She's the Chief of Public Health Services for the Montgomery County Department of Health and Human Services. Her portfolio includes the county's maternal and child health services, school health services, community and population health, and communicable diseases. And you know what? All those great things, yes, those allergies, isms, and all those things that I did not do good in science that you are great at. She has over 18 years of experience working across multiple sectors, including government, academia, and community-based nonprofits. Before joining Montgomery County, she was an assistant professor at Tufts University School of Medicine and served as the policy director for the Center for Black Maternal Health and Reproductive Justice, which we all know that women of color are the least served when it comes to maternal health. We have the preemie babies, we have all those things, and I just know because I know. And so I'm so happy that you're here to talk about that. She has included over $1 billion. Yeah, clap for that. $1 billion of programs evaluating innovative ways to deliver preventative care and improve population health for Medicare and Medicaid beneficiaries. She also served as the acting director for the CMS Office of Minority Health during COVID-19 pandemic. She holds a Dr. PH and an MPH from the Milken Institute of Public Health at George Washington University, a BS from the University of Wisconsin-Parkdale, a certificate in business administration from Georgetown University, and a graduate of the Harvard Business School Value-Based Care Intensive. Well, girl, of all that, I don't know how, but you found time for this, so please clap for Dr. Nina Ashford.
So good morning, everybody. If you can hear my voice, clap once. If you can hear my voice, clap twice. If you can hear my voice, clap 3 times. All right, we're ready to go. You can tell I have small kids who I need to try to get to listen to me. Okay, so I am thrilled to be able to be here today to talk about your health, your power, healthy choices for stronger communities. I do want to thank the African American Health Program, Dr. Grant, Jackie Williams, Habiba, our county executive, our council, all of our community partners and vendors for being here. I'm going to briefly share a few tips about how we can live healthier lives in small steps. These don't have to be major overhauls and changes. So, let's see, next slide. Okay. All right, so there are a lot of definitions for health, and if we think about the medical definition of health, our doctors, physicians, the medical industry would define health as the absence of diagnosable illness or injury. Now, I just want to ask a quick question to everybody here. Is that how you would define health? The absence of disease or injury? No. When we look at the WHO definition, they say health is a resource for everyday life, not the objective of living. So resource, a tool, valuable that helps us live our healthier lives. And one of my favorite definitions is actually from the CDC. Health is the ability to live your life to the fullest, physically, mentally, socially, and emotionally. And I really love this definition because it encompasses who we are as whole people, right? We are not just bodies that may or may not have an illness. Our health is comprised of our mental wellness, our spiritual wellness, our physical wellness, and most importantly, our emotional wellness. So I want to just highlight a couple of things. 60% of African Americans and Black adults have some type of cardiovascular disease, okay? That's more than half. And when we talk about cardiovascular disease, we're talking about congestive heart failure, we're talking about high blood pressure, we're talking about diabetes, we're talking about high cholesterol. 60%, so if you just look around this room, 2/3 of people in this room probably have some form of cardiovascular disease. Only 1 in 3 African American and Black adults who need mental health care receive it. So that means 2 out of 3 African American adults, so think about, again, 2/3 of the people in this room who need mental health care are not actually receiving it. And I want to talk briefly about why is this happening? Why are we seeing these increased rates of disease? Why are we seeing this lack of access to mental health resources? And a lot of times when we talk about disparities, right, it's like, well, being Black means that you have a higher prevalence of X, Y, and Z. It's not being Black that causes these things, right? Let's name a thing. It's not because you're Black, it's because of racist structures, systems, and policies in which we all live that contribute to these outcomes. So we know that stress, time, and financial constraints are a big driver. And we actually heard the county executive and many of our speakers talk about this morning. When we look at the systemic racism of this country, when we look at redlining and how predominantly minority communities and Black and African American communities were concentrated in these disadvantaged areas with lack of access to healthy food, lack of access to health care. All of that directly impacts our health outcomes. You'll hear me as a public health person talk a lot about the social determinants of health. Those are the things where we live, work, play, and pray. And those actually have a bigger impact on our health than what happens in our doctor's office. So stress, time, financial constraints, not having enough time or enough money to be able to pay your bills, having to work multiple jobs just to make ends meet. It's hard to focus on your health when you don't have these basic necessities. Also, a lack of culturally competent care. We know that there are not, when you look at the proportion of African Americans in the population, our healthcare providers do not reflect that. It is very hard to find healthcare providers that look like us. One of the programs we actually have within Health and Human Services is the Black Physicians Health Network, which aims to connect Black and African American residents with dental, mental health, and healthcare providers that actually look like them. And that shows up negatively because of things like implicit bias, right? Assumptions. I teach a whole course about the history of medical racism and how racism is actually embedded into medical practice and graduate medical education, and those myths that Black people don't feel as much pain, or Black people are physiologically different, when we know there's no genetic difference in race, right? There's actually more genetic variation between racial groups than there is within racial groups than there is between racial groups. So all of that trickles into the actual practice of medicine. And when you don't have providers that are willing to do the work to acknowledge that bias, right, and you don't have providers that look like you, that can lead to these adverse outcomes. That can also make us less willing to trust the healthcare system and be willing to go get care when we need it or speak openly and candidly about what we need. As I mentioned earlier, a lack of access to health care and nutritious foods, misinformation and health myths. I don't know if anybody has heard any common misinformation and health myths as it pertains to your health. When I was working on a stroke disparities project in DC, I had one woman tell me that her stroke was caused by cheap beer. I was like, your blood pressure was 240 over 130. But we'll do some education and we'll get there. There is a lot of misinformation and myths, especially not just in the African American community, but within our community as well. You don't need to go to a therapist, you just need to pray about it. And I'm not knocking prayer. Prayer is important, it is a tool in our toolbox. But you cannot have the type of interaction that you get with a licensed clinical professional that you get with talking to the Lord. Okay? Again, I'm not negating prayer. Prayer is very important. But we have to be able to understand and dispel some of these myths, and then also inequities and racism. So I want to just share a couple of brief, because we have a great panel that I want to get to, a couple of brief tips, knowledge, advocacy, and action. So what are some tips that you can incorporate into your daily life? So first, this is the easiest. Please, please, please schedule your preventive care and annual wellness visits. A lot of time we hear self-care talked about. If anybody is a social media user like I am, self-care is viewed as like a day at Balian Springs or some meditative retreat in the mountains. Self-care is also making sure you schedule your PCP appointment. If you are a woman, you're getting your annual cervical cancer screening and your mammograms, your skin cancer screening, that you're taking your meds when you're supposed to take your meds, that you're actually prioritizing your health. And if you're like me, who lives and dies by her calendar, schedule your health in your calendar, right? Say, I work out from 5 to 6, and it is an appointment in my calendar that I keep for me. One of the themes today is prioritizing you, and you have to be very intentional in how you do that. Know your numbers. You are an expert on you. Nobody knows you better than yourself, and you need to understand what your numbers are. When you go to the doctor and you get those lab visits, get an account in the patient portal. LabCorp has a really great portal. Everything goes there as well. Whoever your healthcare provider is, sometimes they will email or mail the results to your house. Keep them in a binder if you're not comfortable using the computer. But you need to know what your numbers are. You need to know what your blood pressure is. You need to know what your cholesterol levels are, your weight, and your A1C, which is the measure for diabetes. And you need to see what those are doing over time. And you need to be able to have that information to know how to act. One of the things I wish every insurance company would do is give their members free blood pressure cuffs. If you, especially as an African American, we have 3 of them in our house. We have 1 on every floor. And especially if you are pregnant or postpartum, go on Amazon. You can get it Prime next day or in 3 days if you don't have Prime. $30. And there's lots of resources in the county as well if you might need assistance. Take your blood pressure. You need to understand that is one of the first markers that you have to see what is happening with your health. Incorporate fruits and vegetables and water into your meals. Now, this doesn't mean go spend $400 on one bag of groceries at Whole Foods. I'm not saying that. I think we've all done that where we're like, I'm gonna eat healthy, and you go and you buy all of this stuff, and then you have to throw it all away 2 weeks later, because I'm like, I'm clearly not the person I thought I was when I was in the produce aisle and had all of these big plans. So this is not go out and make these massive changes that aren't going to stick. This is think about small ways that you can incorporate these changes into your diet. One thing that I've been focused on personally is how do I reduce the processed food that me and my family eat. And even me, who's up here giving this talk, am learning. I used to love the yogurts with the fruit on the bottom and the cottage cheese with the fruit on the bottom, and then it made the list of one of the most processed foods, and I was like, how, Sway? Like, I don't understand. I was shocked. So I was like, okay, that's an easy thing. So I started just getting the plain cottage cheese and the plain yogurt, and I just get my frozen berries, and I make my own fruit in a pot with some water and a little bit of honey and some cornstarch. I think the rule of thumb is when you are buying foods, you want to look at the ingredient list, and you only want to eat things that have 4 or 5 ingredients. And when it's got a bunch of things you can't name, you know it's highly processed and it's not good for you. Grow your own garden, and I know that you don't need a big yard or acres of land to grow a garden. I have Asian pear trees growing in a little container in our backyard, right? You can do container gardening. If you have kids, I have 2, a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. Eli's here in the front. Incorporate them into those activities. I love this time of year because they're walking around eating everything out of our garden, the raspberries, the strawberries. He eats all the green beans before I can even get him in the house. He said, that's not fair. It is fair, and it's true. But they are growing up seeing and having access to these fresh fruits and vegetables. Get active. Again, you do not have to go get a membership at Gold's Gym. Just make small incremental changes. So walk 30 minutes a day in your neighborhood or move in ways that you enjoy. My boys love to do their dance parties, and there's a lot of YouTube channels where the kids are doing the dances. As you heard, if you are a Montgomery County resident, you get a free active Montgomery County account. Have y'all seen the gym at the Silver Spring Rec and Aquatic Center? It is beautiful, and you can use it for free. All of the rec centers that have gyms, you can go and you can use those. But you don't even have to leave your house. I did a massive purge and clean of my house last week. I took 25,000 steps inside my house, throwing away all their toys and all of the papers, right? Donating to my Buy Nothing group, right? So there are things that you can do within your own home to get active, to get physical. There's lots of free workout videos. Kukura, African Dance Fitness on YouTube is one of my favorites. You don't have to go make this a big complicated thing or buy a Peloton. And this is easier said than done, but you have to prioritize rest and sleep. One of my favorite accounts on Instagram is the Nap Ministry, and she says rest is reparations. And I want you to take a moment and think about that. Our ancestors, have deserved to rest, to recover, to sleep. There is no way you can be healthy if you are only sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night. So again, self-care does not always mean going to Bali and Spring. Sometimes it means I'm gonna actually do the hard thing and force myself to go to bed at 10 o'clock instead of sitting up and scrolling on TikTok or Instagram. The county executives over here are looking. Did I call you out? No, I'm joking. You have to sleep, you have to prioritize rest. And then you have to seek support and talk openly about your emotions when needed. I hate the trope of strong Black women or African Americans. We're resilient, we're strong. Yes, we are all of those things, but that shouldn't be the only thing that we are known for. We need community. It is in our ancestral DNA. We were not meant to do this alone. We were not meant to keep difficult feelings and emotions inside. So if you need support, find people, find therapists that can provide that to you. Again, we have a number of resources in the community that can connect you with Black therapists. There's great groups within AAHP, men's groups, different mental health groups. I know our Babies Born Healthy partners back there. Hey, Kathy. have great groups for moms. We need each other. We need a place to express these feelings and emotions and prioritize you. So like I said, put your health on the calendar. We have so many resources in Montgomery County. I always joke with my friend who moved away. I was like, here's your daily MoCo magic. And then I send her something cool that's happening in the county. We have, whether it's the rec centers, the pools, the active Montgomery programming. If you have small kids, you don't have to pay $140 a month to go to Goldfish, because you can sign up for Aqua Tots for like $140 for 2 months, right? 3 months. We have a number of resources that will help you stay healthy. I would also say that if you are a senior citizen, I am very jealous of this, but the senior programming at the rec centers is phenomenal. From chair dancing to Zumba. I was like looking around. My mother-in-law lives with us, Granny Pam, and so I was trying to peep it out for her, and she was like, "Oh, you're not old enough to come in here." I was like, "Oh, I'm not. She was certain." So those are great resources, again, to stay active and stay healthy. And so that is a few practical tips to leave you guys with. The takeaways are that we have an opportunity to make small changes each and every day. These don't have to be big life overhauls. You don't have to throw everything in your pantry out, but maybe you pick one small thing a day. I'm gonna go for a walk around the block. I'm just gonna take a look at the things that are in my pantry and see if there's things that I should maybe throw out or donate, and try to see if there's a healthier option. I'm gonna educate myself on how do I reduce salt intake. I had a whole conversation with my mother-in-law because she didn't realize Lowry's was full of sodium, right? She's used it her whole life. And, you know, her grandchildren keep her honest, so anytime they see her eating something she's not supposed to, Eli kindly reminds her, "Granny, your diabetes," which she appreciates and doesn't appreciate at times. But, you know, it is a community, and we all work together. And really, our health is our power. We all have the power to make these simple steps and simple choices to live healthier lives. When we are healthy, our communities are healthy, and our health is how we do one piece of breaking generational curses. I know I am trying to heal my tribe every single day as I raise 2 Black boys. And so these are just small steps to help us live our best lives, but also for those of us that have kids or grandkids, be an example for our younger generations. So thank you, and we'll turn it over to the panel or see if there's questions.
We're going to do the panel, but I just received word that Dr. James Bridgers, Director of Department of Health and Human Services for Montgomery County, is here. He's going to give a brief remarks.
Good morning, everyone. Where my fans at? Where my fans at? Because we need to be boots on the ground. I wasn't prepared to speak. Good morning, Mr. County Executive. You know I'm always going to be here. Greg Williams, Delegate Williams. And let's give another round of applause to Dr. Ashford. Let's give another round of applause to Dr. Ashford. We have a strong team that's committed to the community. But one of the things that we need to do is we need more mobilization. So when you think about being boots on the ground, we really need to be out in the community. Look at all of the vendors that we have around, all of the fraternal and sorority organizations. Just think about the impact that you have on the county. Now, being an Omega man, I'm gonna call out my divine name. My divine, now, where my Omegas? Brother Williams, where my Omegas? Stand up, stand up. All right, how about those alphas? How about the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated? All right, where my sorors, my Delta Sigma Theta? All right, I know we got some Zetas in the house. Where my Zetas? All right, any Iotas in the house? How about those brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi? That's okay. Any Blue Phi Sigma, Kappa Alpha Psi is outside, I heard. Okay, it's all good. And how about my sisters of SG Rho? So listen, my Divine Nine, and I see the links over there. And NCNW, how about them? All right, stand up. All right, stand up, stand up. So listen, it is because of you that we're able to make an even deeper impact in the community. I'm not going to restate all the numbers, health, wellness, and prevention, but we've learned a lot, especially over the past 5 years. We know about the disparities and the access to care, and I know, Mr. County Executive, I just arrived, but I know you talked about the inequities coming from the federal level. I know about the funding, but we're here to support. But one of the things I want to emphasize is that as we think about supporting the community, we need data. We need data to demonstrate the impact. And it has to be data that represents the community. And when you get a contract, and I'm very passionate about this, Dr. Ashford knows this because we've done contract work at the federal level. And for those of my federal contractors, you can understand what I'm saying. That yes, there may be contracts in the community, but they need to be effective and efficacious. And what do I mean by that? It means that you need to get in the community and show and demonstrate the great work that you're doing and the presence that you have in the community. It's just not rote to submit data and it's inaccurate. Because when it gets to us, we have to scrutinize that data. And when we look at funding and funding streams and impacts at the federal level, that's the first thing that grantors and contractors will say. So when you think about a solicitation or you respond to a request for proposal, it's okay to partner. We are a community. We are a community because Martin Luther King Jr. said that injustice anywhere is a threat everywhere. So I'll leave you with that thought. Y'all keep those boots on the ground, be the fans of the community, and let's make it work. Let's continue to bring positive outcomes and changes to Montgomery County. We are a resilient force, we are a powerful force, and we are a force together. Thank you so much for a few minutes. Thank you so much.